Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to Entrepreneurial Live Interviews with Connie Fuksa. I am Connie Fuksa, and I am through this series trying to bring to you guys some concepts, some thoughts, some people that have just, no matter what got in the way, they just figured out how to do what they wanted to do. And so we've heard from so many entrepreneurs about how they got from working in a traditional business to going into business for themselves or running a business. And this isn't just people who own businesses. It's, all the way across the business cycle, and also people who are thinking about doing it. And what I like to do is bring you guys these stories from these really hardworking people who have figured it out and who have the mindset that they need to get through or over any hurdles they come across. And this afternoon, I just can't tell you how thrilled I am to share this gentleman with you. I met him several years ago. I think we were just talking offline a couple years ago through some networking, and was just a game changer with some concepts that I was trying to do and helped me understand and look at things a little bit differently. And I'm just thrilled to be able to introduce him to you. So today I bring to you Mr. Zeev Wexler. And Zeev, thanks so much for being with us today. I really appreciate your time.
Connie, thank you. Always love chatting with you, and giving value at this time, I think, is the most important thing we can do all as entrepreneurs, business people, just people. So hopefully we'll give a lot of good, and thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. I am just thrilled and truly honored to have you on. So tell us about you. Tell us who you are, how you got to where you are. But let's talk a little bit about you. Like, what did you do before? What did you do to get to here? And then what are you doing right now?
So I've always been a people's person. People has been the most interesting, valuable, fascinating thing in my life. Naturally, I went into business development and sales. Now I did really good. I even got some world Guinness records in sales. But about 15 years ago, I felt a seismic change in everything. I felt like the world is changing from a seller's world to a buyer's world. And of course, you guys all know this. The biggest thing, somebody just says, cool name, Zeev. Thank you. Zeev means wolf in Hebrew. So thank you, guys. So basically, I've noticed that sales is becoming less and less important, and marketing is taking a bigger and bigger role. So when I started my career, I felt like if there's a circle, 80% is sales, 20% is marketing. I feel today it completely shifted. It's 80% marketing, 20% sales. So what do I mean? Let's take the car sales. It's a great example. Back in the day, you needed the car salesperson. You needed him to get the car. Today, he's an obstacle in your way. He's just, he's just a little thing that you just got to bypass to get the car. That's what I hated. I never wanted to be an obstacle for anything. I wanted to help. So with the internet coming out, with changing all the ways of how we communicate, I decided to basically change sales and business development and move into marketing, especially digital marketing. I wanted to get to the people before they go to the salesperson. So if you decide that you want to, let's use the car example again, okay? You decide you want to go buy a car. You will do all the research. You will decide what brand, what kind, what budget, a lot before any dealership would know about you, okay? That's where I wanted to be in. I wanted to influence decisions and not be that obstacle in the end. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. What a great visual pictures that you painted there, because it does make it really clear. One of my questions was going to be talk about the difference between sales and marketing, because I think this is a very, in most layman's terms, it's very skewed. Like marketing and sales sounds like the same thing, but I think you painted a pretty good picture there. Can you give us just a little bit more about the marketing side as opposed to being sales?
Sure.
And what the difference is?
Sure. So I really, really think, and this has been my pet peeve since I started doing business in America about 20 years ago, sales and marketing are two halves of the same circle.
Okay.
They're a process. And if you do it right, sales leads to marketing and marketing leads to sales. Okay. It's easier to market to people you've already sold to, and it's much easier to sell to people that you market right to. So it's a cycle, and it needs to work together. In most companies that I've had the pleasure of consulting, working with, even working for, it's not the case. Sales hates marketing, marketing hates sales. They each work in a completely different, silo, which is ridiculous. So I truly believe sales and marketing are two parts of the same circle. And if sales and marketing work together, it's almost like what's first, the chicken or the egg? Because sales can be the start for marketing and marketing can be the start for sales if they coexist. It's almost like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go a little bit sports analogy. I miss sports, by the way.
I think a lot of people do.
I do. I miss sports a lot. So football, right? So there's a lot of things going on in football. So think about, your offensive line and your receivers. Okay, if they're not working together, it's not going to work. Okay, but if they are working together, they will help each other. So sales and marketing to me is basically two parts of the same circle, which is, business development. But I truly believe that today, with all the technology, social media, ways of buying online, marketing just a bigger role. A lot of people can buy today without salespeople.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that was a great analogy with the car dealership, because you're absolutely right. I mean, look at the way of CarMax and Carvana and those kind of concepts. It's exactly why they exist, is because people are doing all that research online. So what drives you to go look at their company as opposed to another company is the marketing before you even get to the sales. So great analogy. Just absolutely great. So talk to us a little. Okay, so you have a company and you decided to start a company. Let's talk about not exactly what the company does, but your entry into that doing it yourself world, because you did a little bit of that before in a different area, did more sales. And so now you made a shift at some point and said, okay, I want to do this myself because, and when was that and how did that form?
So I'll go a little backwards. I've always been entrepreneurial and I've always built businesses and teams, and it's something that makes me happy. I had a financial company during the 07-08 crisis. I thought I was very smart. I leveraged myself. I bought so much real estate. I handled a lot of financial powerhouses, a lot of things, and I felt like I was on top of the world. I truly felt like this life is not hard. I know how to do this. And then God had to make me feel, real and human again.
Humble.
Everything almost in 07-08 after building a big company, really thinking that I got this made. And then I worked at a lot of companies, and one of them was a car dealership. And funny enough, this was right at the recession. I moved to DC for family reasons, and I wanted a job. And I was not, I started a job selling cars from the floor, just a car salesman. Now, I love sales. I love people. I grew very quickly, and I became very, very quick the general sales manager of that dealership, started making great money. Things were going better. 3 years into it, I was, okay, I'm comfortable, but this is not what I want to do. And this taught me a lot about what I was telling you about the world changing and shifting. Mm-hmm. So it made me make a decision that I need to help people with what they don't know how to do, which is digital marketing. And the main part of it was technology and marketing automation, which people didn't even know what it was. So that was my goal. I'm going to take my knowledge, everything I learned, I'm going to learn a lot more, and I'm going to help people with this new digital marketing that really no one knew how to do. And I felt like if I dive into it and I truly help people, I will become an expert and my clients will grow from it.
Gosh, you have so much, so many different pieces there. I was writing a lot of notes while you were talking because, there's a lot to be said for this. So let's go back a little bit to, you're talking about your financial world and, how you built all of these things and you were on top of the world. I think that's really important to focus a little bit on right at this moment for a couple of reasons. One, as you and I talked offline, people need to be looking forward at what could be next or how they're coming out of this because, we just have no idea how the world is going to shift. And so we have to be prepared in our own world. And obviously you thought you were prepared, but you didn't have that plan set out. You were sitting up there pretty and you got an autocorrect, and which I think is what's happening to a lot of people right now. So that's really an interesting point, number one, I think that everybody needs to sort of grab onto, because I think that's important. And then you had to start, because of the not planning, because of where you thought you were, then you had to start at the bottom again and then, move up through that rank. But the next thing that you said that I thought was really powerful was you were doing fine. You were very, very, very successful doing what you were doing in that business, the general manager, but you just weren't happy, and you knew there was something else. And so then you took this leap really into a new world that you thought was maybe untapped, and decided to build a business around that particular world. Is that correct?
That is correct. And thank you for bringing me back to that, because I was a cocky young, I won't share more than that, but I thought I got it all figured out. I thought it was
rightfully so, because it was working for you. So rightfully so. I can see a lot of people would do the same.
But I really thought I was smarter than everybody. I thought I really had this made, and it's the best thing in the world to fall from a horse on your butt. And also, it's interesting, but after you've been on a horse and then you fell, you can get on it again.
Very good point.
You can get on it again, but the falling teaches you a lot more than the riding, funny enough. I've learned more in my failures of 2008 than I've learned to all the successes before that.
I love this concept, because I talk a lot about this when I talk to customers I work with, when I talk online. I did a whole segment on failure, because I feel like people, social media does a couple of things, and we all know this, that social media makes everybody look perfect, and their makeup is always right, and their hair is always cut perfectly, and the background is perfect. And so, I think that I talk about that failure concept a lot, because people don't realize that when things don't go right, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you learned some way to pivot in this confusing world that you jumped off of, or that you fell off of. And in your case, that horse that you fell off of, failure was nothing more than a learning lesson for you to take it to the next level, because you knew you could get back there, but you knew what to do to make sure you didn't fall off the horse next time.
Yes, but it's more than that. Like I was telling you that sales and marketing are part of the same circle.
Right.
Failure and success are part of this exact same circle. There's nobody that ever succeeded without failing. It is just not a natural possibility. I say this and a lot of other things. I hate this term of overnight success. Bull crap. There's no such thing. You missed on all the failures, all the scars that these people have to show you how much they work to become this overnight success. So I truly believe failure is a better teacher than success. Success makes you cocky. Success makes you think, you're smarter than other people. Failure teaches you. Now, these times, I know a lot of people are having a hard time, and trust me, I'm having a hard time on a lot of things too. But in a way, these types of times excite me, because silver linings are always there. Opportunities are always there. After the huge failure of 07, 08, I started rebuilding right away. And you guys remember the real estate market crashed, right? I bought a house in Detroit, one of the nicest neighborhoods of Detroit, a really nice house, a house I wouldn't mind living in, for $13,500 in cash. Wow. A house that was worth 200 and something thousand weeks before that. So then I started buying real estate, and that was a way that kept me kind of coming back. And as I was an employee in other places, and really I was making a lot more money for them than I was for me, but it provided for me as well. I started building everything back. And the thing is, and it's happening right now with SEO, and I'll mention it later, but when everything crashes, you get everything on a discount.
Very well said. Yeah, absolutely.
So if everything crashes, now you have a chance to really get stuff in the ground state. Everybody wants to buy Apple years ago, right? Apple dropped a lot. You kind of go back in 3-4 years on Apple if you want to now buy them. So there's always an opportunity in these crises. And one of my favorite saying from the Bible is, from bitter will come sweet. And I truly believe that's God test to us. Yeah. God's putting a big, ugly thing, and who's got the courage to clean it up and see what beautiful thing might be lying inside, or who's just going to scream and run the other way. And I think that is the main difference. And most of us are not, risk adverse. Most of us do have, families and kids, and but still, we owe it to ourselves and our families to try to look for the silver lining. What is good? And there are good things now. There's definitely good things. There's definitely things any business can take advantage right now. Now, some businesses are in a much rougher state than the others, and I'm blessing and thanking God that we are doing okay. I've lost about 60% of our regular business, but we've gained so much else, and we're in digital marketing. All our employees are still working. We're all working from home, but still working. So we're blessed, but everyone has an opportunity now. And
yeah, very good. All good information, because that's it. People just don't, a lot of people there's certainly people in different levels of need right now. But one of the things that you said that I feel really strongly about is, from the business perspective of it, is looking at those opportunities, but also looking at not being afraid to take advantage of opportunities, whether it be now, 6 months from now, a year from now, when that opportunity, and this is a common theme when we're talking to different entrepreneurs that have started things. I talked to a gentleman earlier this week who has a business who was offered an opportunity in a new business. And his theory is always just say yes, because, if somebody hands you the shovel, somebody else we were talking to said, if somebody hands you the shovel, just get to work, start digging, do what you want to do. So stop waiting for the sun to come out and the silver lining to show itself. It's there. It's there. You just have to be open to those opportunities and not be afraid of it.
A silly saying my dad used to tell me a lot when I was a kid: when someone gives you, take; when someone hits you, run. If you get an opportunity, take it. If someone's trying to hurt you, get away from it. And you have to look for it. It's not going to show itself. Okay. Yeah. You have to get into the dirt. You have to clean it up. You have to get dirty yourself. But that's part of finding that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the questions I like to ask a lot is what is it? Well, first tell us the name of your business and tell us what your business does. So we know about that. Your business now, tell us a little bit about that, because I don't want to get away from that and forget to showcase your business.
Sure. So our business is Wexler. Wexler is a digital marketing firm. It's a small digital marketing agency. We become a marketing arm for our clients. So we believe our clients are very good at whatever it is that they're doing, but we know the digital space. So we get together as a team. Our people become their people, and together we help them grow their business. We measure ourselves by ROI, meaning I know for a fact, Connie, you and I work together and I'm growing your business, ROI, bottom line every month. You will never let go of me, ever. And if I raise prices, you'll say, okay, well, I'll pay them because I'm worth it. So our goal is to become a marketing arm. We do websites, SEO, graphics, branding, a lot of paid advertisements. But all we want to do is to help our clients where they don't know how to do and really learn from them. We'll never be as good as our clients and what they do. So we rely on them, but we are their marketing arm. And we measure ourselves by success. In marketing today, it's not like it used to be. It's not like, oh, I made you a great commercial, be happy. Now I can see exactly how much sales it drove, how much traffic it drove. So I used to not like marketing because I felt it was a fake industry. And now it's the opposite. Now everything is data driven.
Yeah, that's true, because, when you do a Facebook ad, you can actually see all of the graphics about what's happening and how things are driven. So that's really cool. But it's good, too, because you then can put a picture on what you're doing and how you've succeeded for your clients. So I also like the fact that you said you actually become the marketing arm for people, because small businesses, we've talked about this concept before as well, but when you start a business, you make this widget, you make this pen, and you make the most beautiful pen that there ever is, and you're so passionate about it, but you don't know what all of the things it takes to go behind the scenes to make that business run. The accountant, the attorney, the marketing, all of those things. All you know is how to make the best pen there is. And so this is where it's very important to understand these businesses, to be able to delegate your work to get the success that you need, driven, and particularly through the digital marketing. Very interesting. So do me a favor and tell us, because you have a lot of energy, but all of us have this thing that drives us, right? It's the thing that we know when we're working on somebody's project and something happens, you go, oh my gosh, that's the reason I do this. I feel so good. I'm tingly all over, my hair standing up on my arms, or my face is glowing, or whatever that is. Tell us what that is for Zeev.
Teaching people. Nothing makes me happier than teaching, sharing knowledge. If I go into a client and after 6 months of working with them, they finally understand what's going on in their digital, I'm happy, because there's so many people in my business that thrive from people not understanding, thrive from people not getting, oh, I'll send you all these numbers and stuff. And, we call it vanity stats. I want my clients to understand. He doesn't need to understand how to implement it. I sometimes don't understand how to implement it, but he needs to understand. So I want my clients to be educated. I believe that is the biggest thing. A big thing we see now in the agency world is a lot of companies want to have in-house people doing stuff. A lot of agencies hate that. I love that. What's better than to have people in-house doing the simple stuff and letting your guys focus on really the complicated things and working together as a team? So I hope that answers that question. But
oh yeah, I could totally see it on your face when you were talking about teaching people and giving them that power of understanding what you're doing instead of making it some secret magical thing that you do in the back room. That was really cool because I could see the energy on your face. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is we all have that thing in our business that makes us just the warm and fuzzy, like, oh my gosh, they got it, or, it happened, that thing that makes us keep going back to that business, no matter how hard or how stressful that project may be. That thing happened and that was all that you needed. So that's really cool.
It is. It makes it all worth it. And really, if you educate people, you give them value. And if they're smart people, they're going to see it. If they're not smart people, you shouldn't deal with them anyways. But if they are smart people and they're seeing the value you're giving them, you're going to build relationships. You're going to grow. I've grown my business because my clients have sent me to other people. Yeah. I get so many referrals, Connie, and they don't come from the stuff that I do for clients. They actually come where I get an email. You got to meet Zeev. We just talked about this. You need to talk to Zeev. Does all of these things become client? No. Do I take everyone? Heck no. I'm very guarded on who I'm taking. I don't want to take people that can't afford me, have the wrong expectations, or people that I just don't get along with. Hard to work with people you don't get along with. So I'm very picky, but I will talk to all of them and I will give them all advice and I will give them my time. I value my time at $600 an hour, but I will give anybody half an hour. Anybody. If you want to learn, even if you tell me I'm going to take this and use this, against you, I want to teach. And I don't think by teaching, I am losing anything.
I love this. You have brought up two concepts that I think are really important. One is something we've not talked about yet, because I think entrepreneurs are afraid to talk about this. And so the being able to say no, that it's not a good fit to work together. And I bring this up because, like I said, I think so many entrepreneurs are afraid, like, oh my God, I could never turn away business. But that's the wrong attitude, because not everyone, no matter how good you are at what you do, not every personality is a perfect fit. And so I think that's really powerful that you brought that up. And it's, like I said, not something that anybody's talked about. But when I had my brick and mortar business, we had the exact same concept. I recognize and I respect that I'm not able to work with everyone. I don't look at things exactly the same. And so because of that, I think I earned more respect and trust because I was willing to say, I just am not sure that this is the best fit for us. And I think maybe we didn't work together, but they respected me more because they recognized that maybe that was the case after they stepped back. So talk to us a little bit more about that, because I think that's a powerful term and a powerful concept that people just they're maybe afraid of.
So it didn't start that way.
Yeah, of course not. We all want to get all the clients.
When we started, I took everything. You would offer me something and I would think I would be able to do that. I would say yes, and I will make it happen or figure out how to make it happen. So don't let me fool you guys. Yeah, from the beginning, I'm like, yeah, I can't work with you. No. In the beginning, anybody that offered me money, I said, yes, sir. What can I do for you? So, but then you learn that there is capacity, okay? And there's the services that you can do. And if you take the wrong projects, when the right project comes along, you're not able to take it. You don't have the capacity to do it. And then reputation is the most important thing for me, I think. So reputation and I think reputation and loyalty, I think, are the two most important things for me. So you cannot ruin your reputation. You can't just destroy things off the bat. So it's really, really, really important to do things right. And if somebody right now came to me and said, Zeev, I have 100,000. Can you do something that I've never heard about? I would probably tell him no. But 5-6 years ago, I would tell him yes. And I would try to figure it out. Now,
I love that you're explaining that so much in detail too, because I think that people are afraid to say no. Absolutely, like you said. Of course, when you first start out, you want to take all the business because you need the business. You want to prove yourself. You want to try to build that relationship. But either your personalities aren't going to work. It's work that you're not comfortable doing, or that you don't know how to do, and you're gonna spin your wheels trying to put something together when your time would be better spent somewhere else. That's a really powerful thought. The other thing I wanted to share just for a minute or two before we wrap up is talking a little bit about relationships, because this is like a very common theme through entrepreneurs. And I want people to understand everybody's thought about this, because I think that people feel like, all I need to do is put a bunch of ads out there and people are going to just start calling me because, I have the prettiest ad out there. And that's absolutely not the way it's going to happen. The ad just reinforces the relationship that you're already building. So can you talk about that for a minute with us?
Yes, thank you. I didn't think we were going to talk about this, but this is so important. Reciprocity is the name of the game of social media. Okay. Now, reciprocity means you want someone to do something for you, do it for others. Okay. Reciprocity also means that you got to give something to something before you ask something from it. So 99% of everybody I know on social media is not doing it right. Why? They're just pushing stuff on people that are not interested. Okay. Mm-hmm. I do so much content on social, especially on LinkedIn, and I don't charge anything for it. Mm-hmm. I give and I give and I give and I give and I give, and I build a community. And then the very small times that I need to take, that's when I ask. But ever since this COVID thing started, we've put out ebooks about exactly how we do our SEO. We've put out guidebooks about financial help, what technologies to use. That's not something that we sell. That's not stuff, but we want to help. Now, we know that if we're going to help enough people, when they need to and can, they're going to come to us. So social media is all about giving value. It's not about running ads. It's not, afterwards it works, but it's all about giving value. And I've had 100 conversations of people saying, oh, I've tried, Facebook and it doesn't work. Of course, because you didn't make it work. You just asked for something for nothing, which
yep. You just stood there with your hand out and didn't stand with your hands out to give something to someone else. You're absolutely right. What a great concept for us to wrap on. Do me a favor and tell us, in 10 words or less, what you do for a living, because I think that, people are hearing all of these different concepts, and I like to sort of wrap it up when we're talking about rounding that out. So tell us what you do in 10 words or less, just so everybody can get an idea of what the next question is to ask you.
I help companies grow digital infrastructure and hopefully digital empires. I help them create online presence that works to grow their business. And we deal with all of digital. So we make website, but it's not about what you make. It's all about the strategy. If somebody comes to me and says, Zeev, I have $100,000, make me a website. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it should work. What are you trying to achieve? A strategy. We don't do anything without a strategy, and we charge for a strategy. So if you want to work with us, you got to pay for the strategy. If you don't get it, that's fine. But we're not just going to put a website together without understanding what the heck you want to cause. What do you want to bring? Why spend this $100,000? What is your current website not doing for you? Now, is it true? Yeah, we do recommend a lot of times to replace websites, but for a reason, not just, hey, it's been 3 years. Let's, redo this. Why? What are you trying to get? Does that make sense? It was 100 words or less, but hey.
It's all right. Honestly, 90% of the people are a whole lot more than 10 words. My last interview, she did sit and count, which was cute, but yeah, totally good. No, it's totally good. I appreciate it. Well, I think we're just about out of time. Do me a favor and tell everybody how they can reach you after today so that anybody who wants to get in touch with you knows where to find you.
So you can reach out to me on Facebook, which I'll admit is not my strongest network. I love LinkedIn. So everybody come reach out to me on LinkedIn, Zeev Wexler. There's not too many Zeev Wexlers out there, so you won't get a feed full of names. Watch what we're doing. Please use our content. We've posted so many things. Our team is working so hard on putting stuff out there. Come check out our website, wexlerllc.com. And if I can help anybody, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to do it. And guys, everyone out there at this time with everything going on, the more value we can give each other, the better. And Connie, thank you.
Oh, Zeev, thank you so much. I can't tell you how honored I've been to grab so much information from you, but also to share you and all of your great concepts with everybody that watches. And I really appreciate your time. Guys, we are, and to Zeev's answer, we are reposting the replay of our videos, but we're also doing our interviews, but we're also reposting them on LinkedIn too. So, and Zeev will have it so he can share it on all his social media platforms. We also are posting it back on Facebook tomorrow. It should be on tomorrow afternoon, and then also on LinkedIn as well, my LinkedIn as well. And so I so appreciate your time today. I know how important and valuable it is, and I just really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
My total pleasure, Connie. See you guys.
All right, guys, check me out on ConnieFuksa.com. You got Zeev's information. And Zeev, also, would you put it in the comments when we get done? That way, if anybody wants to just click on the link, they can find you as well.
I will put in the comments my Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and website.
Excellent. All right, guys, have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much.
Bye.